Welcome, everyone. We have a new interview, Prenny, who I actually got you before and after, and I just had to share the results with everyone and want to just know your history and to have a little dialogue.
Sure.
So, can you tell me a little bit about, your upbringing, and did you have a weight problem your whole life, or what happened?
Yeah, so I've had a weight problem pretty much my entire life, and I think growing up I didn't have the best nutritional advice from my mom, but I wouldn't blame her. She had a lack of information herself, and sugar and an unhealthy diet was always a part of my lifestyle growing up. You know,
Now, did you grow up in
so
South Africa?
yes.
What was the food back then? Because in my mind, I'm thinking, wow, Africa, they probably have really great soils, really healthy vegetables. Is that true?
Yeah. Yes. It is a very fertile country. It's got fantastic food. Well, my dad used to run a restaurant. So after school, every day we would go back to the restaurant and hang out there from lunchtime till about 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and it was a free for all for me, so I could eat whatever I wanted. So I had full hearty meals, desserts, soft drinks. It was just, yeah, it was life was nutritionally not a problem.
Exactly. Wow. So that went along, and then when did you tend to peak out at your largest weight? What age were you at your most weight?
I think when I got into college, that's when I just moved to New Zealand. I went to university. That was at the age of about 17, 18, and I started living by myself, and I was eating literally for 6 months. My diet consisted of pizza and beer for 6 months. Nothing more, nothing less, just pizza and beer. And I topped out at 130 kilos. I got to 130 kilos when I was 17.
How many pounds is that?
I think it's almost three. I can do a quick calculation, but about 300 pounds,
Wow. Wow.
286.
That's a good amount of weight. Did you feel heavy? Did you like walking around in your joints, or what was it like being that weight?
Yeah, it was terrible. You're always out of breath. You couldn't walk. If there was a class on level 4 and the lifts weren't working, I wouldn't go to class because I just couldn't climb 4 flights of stairs.
That's crazy. So then how long did you just go for a period of time? When did you start like going, okay, I need to turn this around?
Um, so when I stayed at 130 kilos for about 3 to 4 years. Um, and there was a point where I was just sick of being the most unpopular and the fattest kid in university, and I decided that something needed to change, and so I started researching a bit about nutrition and all of that, and I made very small changes at the time, and those small changes changed quite a lot in my diet. And those small changes consisted of getting rid of sugar.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you started losing weight. And did you when did you start on, and did you do ketosis at all at some point?
So I got in touch with a nutritionist to help me out with losing weight, and she introduced me to ketosis. She introduced me to what it was, what the diet looked like, and all of that. And the first time I did ketosis, it took me about 6 weeks to get into ketosis. And I stayed in ketosis for maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and got kicked out after 3 or 4 weeks because I took a single shot of tequila, kicked me out of ketosis. But look, um, during that journey, I lost about 40 kilos. I went from 130 kilos to 89. I'll tell you how much 89 kilos is just now. 196 pounds.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it was quite a bit, but I was doing a lot of workouts as well. I was doing CrossFit, I was gymming, I was cycling and running, mostly all four in a single day, as well as being on ketosis. That was my first weight loss journey. Then I stopped all of that, and um, and the weight slowly started coming back on, because even though I had been doing this for 6 months, it had not become a lifestyle. It was still a regime, right? And then I had stopped all of that, and life had gotten back in the way, and I slowly started putting on weight. And in about 2 years, I put on 25 kilos. And I jumped up back up to 253 pounds. So at the start of this year, I was 253 pounds, and getting back to that 286 pound, my heaviest point, uh, and I decided to look into ketosis again, and that's when I came across your channel. That's when I came across your information, and I realized what I was doing the first time wasn't actually the best way to do it. Even though I got rid of all the refined sugars, I hadn't gotten rid of the carbs. I would still have, a sweet potato in my diet, or brown rice, or whole wheat pasta. And I realized, wait, hang on, that's still that's off limits as well, And so when I tried it, after seeing your information, when I tried it again, remember the first time it took me 6 weeks to get into ketosis. And then when I tried it with you, it took me 2 days to not even 2 to 3 days to get into ketosis.
That's fantastic. Did you also add intermittent fasting with it?
Yeah, so intermittent fasting, I do intermittent fasting right now. I eat 1 to 2 meals a day, but that's not because I consciously adopted it. It's just that I'm not hungry enough to eat 3 meals a day. So I eat breakfast at around 11, and lunch/dinner at around 4, and then that's it. And then for 4 to 11, yeah. But that, again, it's not because I'm starving myself or I'm forcing myself. It's that's just when I'm hungry.
That's incredible. So you don't have the cravings anymore?
Sometimes I do, but nowhere near as much as I used to.
Okay.
Nowhere near as much as I used to. So I'm back down to 104 kilos, which is 229 pounds. And my goal is to, by the end of the year, get down to 85 kilos, which is 187 pounds. That's my goal.
How tall are you?
Almost 5'8".
Okay. That sounds good. That sounds like a good weight. And are you like, when you eat a meal, give me an example of what you eat.
Breakfast, for example, would be eggs, bacon, cheese, and a bit of hummus on the side.
That's great. And then for dinner, what would you have? Or 4 o'clock?
Steak and a chorizo salad with feta and hummus on the side as well. But just a teaspoon or two of hummus. I just love hummus, and I'm so glad that I'm able to have that.
I love hummus too. You know, the problem in the United States with hummus is that most of it's soy-based. They don't even put olive oil. I'm like, what? I was going to ask you, what about, are you still doing your workouts like you were before?
Right. So no, I'm not doing CrossFit and gymming. This year I decided to stop doing the things that I hate, because last time I even though I was doing all these things, I didn't love what I was doing, right? So this year I decided that what I'm trying to do is make a lifestyle. What I'm trying to do is make a lifestyle that I love, that is my lifestyle that I can sustain for the long run. So instead of going to the gym and doing CrossFit, I found things that I do love. So squash is a sport here which is very similar to racquetball in the States. So I play that on Saturday mornings with my friends, and then Monday and Wednesday nights I play ultimate frisbee. Now these are fantastic workouts. You know, the calorie burn is twice as much as what I would get at a gym. You know, and so that's what I do 3 days a week, and that's my workout. So I'm trying to build a lifestyle that I love and can move forward with for the long term.
I love it. I love it. The type of workout that my body loves the most is chopping wood, believe it or not. So I have my backyard, we have all this wood. And I'll chop wood for a good solid half hour. I mean, like I walk by, I'm just like sweating. I get my whole body involved. So that's what I do.
Yeah.
And what about your any other benefits like energy level or cognitive function?
So nowadays I wake up at around 5:30 in the morning and go on till about 9 or 10 in the evening. And I used to always take a nap in the afternoon. I used to always have that 3 p.m. crash, and my productivity at around 3 p.m. was dead. But now I don't feel lethargic. I'm always ready to go whenever someone's like, let's go play squash or let's go play frisbee or whatever it is. I feel my energy levels are a lot more stable, rather than high in the morning, crash in the afternoon, and then high again in the evening and late nights and things like that. So I feel like there's a lot more stability. And
are other people like looking at you going, wow, what did you do? I can't even recognize you. Do you have any of that?
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of that now, more so than I would say maybe a month ago. And I'm telling them everything about every single person who asks me, what are you doing? I say, all you got to do is go to YouTube, type in Dr. Berg, and that's it. So I tell them that I'm on the ketosis diet, and then I refer to them to you on YouTube. I've got an Instagram channel where I'm sort of trying to help other people. I'm just sharing my results, and if that inspires other people, fantastic. And whenever I talk about ketosis, I talk about Dr. Berg is my source of information when it comes to ketosis.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it simple, but I think it's really important for just doing these interviews give other people an idea that it doesn't have to be, doom and gloom. It needs to be a lifestyle change, and you have to make it part that fits you, not try to force things. And I think a lot of people that even do other programs like Ideal Protein, for example, it's a struggle. They're doing snacks, and they lose some weight, and then they gain it right back, and they're in the same shape that they're in. So it's good to hear your story. I think it's going to be very inspiring for other people.
Yeah, fantastic. There's this, there are a lot of these ketosis shakes, and I have no idea what ketosis shakes are. I've been approached many times to try the shake, and it'll put you in ketosis and blah blah blah, and it doesn't. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm sticking away from it. But I shouldn't be drinking a shake. Well, I just don't think it makes sense. Maybe I don't know enough about it for me to make a judgment call on it. But yeah,
I think it's one of those things. Just my personal opinion. It's kind of a little bit of a gimmick that you can get You can actually make your own ketones very inexpensively with food. And you don't, just by not eating certain things, you don't have to necessarily take ketones to burn those ketones as fuel. So I didn't really, and it's multi-level, so that turned me off right there. But anyway, I'm not into it.
Right, right.
But anyway, this is an amazing story, Prenny. I really appreciate you sharing with us. I think it's amazing. The before and after is like incredible. So inspiring.
Absolute pleasure. And thank you for taking the time to make this content and send it out. And I mean, you're basically helping people like me to lose weight with information, and it's fantastic. I'd like to thank you for all the effort and time that you're putting into making all this content.
Oh wow, I appreciate that, and thank you.
Sure thing.
Okay, well, you have a wonderful afternoon or evening, whatever time it is over there.
4:30 a.m.
Okay. Well, thank you for getting up in the middle of the night and doing this video.
No worries, Dr. Berg.
Okay, have a great one.
Have a good one. See ya.
Okay, see ya.